Hello, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another pre-deadline stream. Oh, my camera's all off. Oh, God, this is just... It's going from bad to worse, this. Good evening, everyone. Thank you all who have stuck with me this evening and are still in the chat or have decided to join when they saw this notification about the third notification of the evening that I was going to go live. I apologize that we are 45 minutes late on where I said I would be when I was going to start this stream. It has been, as anyone in the chat might have noticed, it's been a bit of a nightmare trying to go live. As it is pinned at the comment, we will be live until it starts to lag. So if you could let me know if and when that happens. It looks okay at the moment. You will notice that the stream layout is slightly different. Basically, I had to go back to my old layout where I don't have any of the moving stuff. I don't have any of the moving stuff or anything like that, which uses up internet speed. But my speed's fine. It just seems like OBS is having one, and it was weird when I uploaded my video the other day. It took like 3 hours to upload, which it normally takes like 20 minutes or something, which was a bit weird. But I am home tomorrow, so I'm hoping that it's just something with being abroad. But anyway, that's enough talking about me for the time being. Let's move the camera over here a little bit, and then I will turn like this, so I can actually read the chat without looking completely away from the camera. Thank you all for joining. Like and subscribe if you are in and enjoying and have persevered this far. It'd be much appreciated. We're going to do about half an hour, 45 minutes of your questions. New name on the stream, live until it lags. That's what I tweeted. I'll put it in the title. Live until it lags. Again. Anyway, yes. In terms of my transfer plans, I'm pretty certain that I'm going to be doing James Maddison to Mo Salah this week. I don't think there's another transfer really for me to make. I could go Maddison to Jack Grealish, but I still think, despite the couple of good game weeks that we've seen for Jack Grealish, that Mo Salah is a better FPL asset still than Jack Grealish is, despite the last couple of weeks. The only other thing that I potentially considered was selling Marcus Rashford. My nose does look very red in this camera. I have been out today, so I hope it's not burnt. But anyway, you're going to have to put up with this, but I'll look in the mirror afterwards. But anyway, so Maddison to Mo Salah, I'm about 95% certain I'm going to be doing. The only other one was Marcus Rashford to Grealish, and whether I could potentially be doing that. With the news that Marcus Rashford, there's a small chance that he's back for Sevilla next week. It means that I'm probably going to hold on for him, just because if the game week 34 double comes around, I think I'll still want Marcus Rashford in my team. It's possible that I still move for Grealish and I do that in game week 33 or game week 34, but Rashford is a player that I'll want in my team if he's back. Everyone thinking I got married. I didn't get married, and I don't have a ring to propose either. Sad for you all, I know, but no, I don't. None of those things. If City and United qualify for the FA Cup final, will they blank? If so, which game week is that? No. So the FA Cup final actually has its weekend of its own, so it will not cause a blank game week. Will Luke Shaw play? So currently looking at it, I think I'd be very surprised if Luke Shaw starts. There's an okay chance he might end up being on the bench. I might bench him for Rico Henry just because I don't actually think he's going to start. If he starts, then I'd like to have him in my team, because I would then be starting double Brentford defence, which I don't particularly love. But if Luke Shaw is going to... if I don't think Luke Shaw is going to start, then I should probably bench him, because there is an okay possibility that he is on the bench and he does get some minutes. But the only thing is, if there is a chance that he starts, then I'd want him in there, which is why he's in there at the moment. But I don't think he's going to start. Am I proposing? No. Still no. Still no to all of these questions. I'm just on holiday for my dad's birthday. Best two Arsenal attackers to double up on. Martinelli has to be one. And to be honest, I quite like Gabriel Jesus because he takes up a forward slot, which we don't really have that many forwards that we want at the moment. I would still probably go Martinelli, Saka as the top two. But if you could go Jesus over Saka and go double attack, for example, when we look at free hit game week 32, I think I'll probably end up with Martinelli, Saka, Jesus on my free hit. I think that's probably the way that I'm going to end up going, just because I think there's enough other defenders, and the Arsenal defense does leak goals from time sometimes, so I probably won't end up on an Arsenal defender. I'll probably end up on triple Arsenal attack, so it'll probably be Martinelli, Saka, Jesus. If I wasn't on free hit or if I was wanting one defender. To be honest, Saka's ownership would probably mean I would go there, and that's just the type of boring manager I am. But I like Martinelli, Jesus. They play so well together. There was quite a lot about how Saliba's not very good for Odegaard and for Saka. Saliba being out because of the way that Holding passes it. He passes a really interesting thread, actually. I don't often read a lot of threads on Twitter, but a really interesting thread about how Saliba passes left and right, whereas Holding only passes the way he's facing, which is towards the left-hand side of the pitch, which means they don't play nearly down as much the right-hand side as they do when Saliba is on the pitch. Me to Malacia for double game week 34. I don't think I'd go buy Malacia just because Shaw should be back by double game week 34. So I don't think I'd be doing that. So no. Do I think James starts every game week after this week? Reece James, no. So Reece James apparently has an injury, which is going to keep him out for a few games. Now, we don't play for a couple of weeks, but yeah, I wouldn't be buying Reece James. And if you own him, it doesn't look like great news, to be honest. Doesn't look great news if you are a Reece James owner, to be honest. Thoughts on Kepa to Edison. So some of you might have seen the comments from Lampard that it looks like some random Chelsea players might start tomorrow. A lot of people are considering that it might be Mendy in for Kepa. I don't necessarily think Kepa deserves to be dropped, if that's worth anything. I don't think it's fair on Kepa to necessarily drop him. He has let in some goals, but I think he's been fine. I am a Chelsea fan. I think Kepa's been fine. I don't necessarily think he deserves to be dropped. If it was, a normal manager who hadn't just joined, I don't think there'd be a chance that he gets dropped. But of course, under new management, you never know what can happen. So he could get dropped. I need to up the lighting a little bit here. Maybe that's better. I apologise to anyone new who thinks the state of my stream is what they're going to get back to every week. I urge you to go and watch what my streams have looked like in past weeks and notice that this is not the standard that I hope to live up to. And hopefully it gets back better for the rest of the season and next season as well. I actually got new kit to hopefully help me stream when I'm abroad, which has made my life easier, but so little I can do about Wi-Fi speeds, etc., which was fine last week, but was obviously not that fine this week. 600 of you in and watching, but only 30 likes. If you guys could just drop a like on the stream, that would be fantastic. Sell Chilwell for 1 a Man City defender, 2 a Stupinan, or 3 Trent. I mean, it depends if you need to play them this week, right? Because if you're selling them for this week, then you can't really buy a Stupinan. It needs to be a City defender or Trent. I probably would go for a City defender, to be honest, just because they have the extra double later down the line and they look pretty good. So, yeah. What's the rush to bring in Salah this week for yourself, Harry? Well, I need a transfer to make, right? I could do Maddison to Grealish, but I can afford Maddison to Salah. Those of you in the chat asking how I've got so much money to do that, I have no Harry Kane in my team, so I have loads of money in the bank. So if you look at your teams and think you can't do Maddison to Salah, it's because you probably own Harry Kane, which I for some reason don't. So basically, I'm Salah versus Harry Kane this week, which is not something where I want to be, but like, that's the reason I'm going Salah this week, because I need a transfer with this team. If you see a transfer that you think is better than what I'm planning this week, then please drop it in the chat. Like, what would you do with this if this was your team? But I think that the most of you would go Maddison out. And if you could afford Salah, I would expect most of you to go Salah. I know a lot of you are going Grealish, but that's because you probably don't have the money to go up to him. Start Chilwell or Havertz, neither is not an option, unfortunately. I'd start Chilwell just because I think he probably starts. I'm not that much of a fan of Havertz, and I don't think Frank Lampard is either. So, yeah, I'd start Chilwell if I had to start one of those. Would I get rid of Rashford next week? No, if he's because I'm free hitting in game week 32, so it would mean I need to sell him in game week 33. Now, if it doesn't look like he's going to be back in game week 34, I may sell him that week. But actually, Grealish is at home to Arsenal that week. I could sell him for Grealish that week and just play Grealish, but I could also wait and do it in game week 34. So I am buying myself a little bit of time that if Rashford comes back, I believe Rashford and Salah are both better assets than the highly bought in Jack Grealish this week. So it's basically where I'm at. Maddison to De Bruyne. I still think that Salah's a better option than De Bruyne. Still believe Salah's a better option to De Bruyne. Chilwell to Trent and start Kepa. I mean, I don't hate that, but I have Maddison and Rashford issues in my midfield that I need to fix. Thoughts on Mahrez over Grealish? I don't dislike it for a week, but I think between now and the end of the season, particularly with Foden coming back, etc., that Mahrez is a much bigger risk than Foden is. Than Grealish is. So although for this week, go and buy Mahrez, but for the long run, I think you're gonna be better off with Jack Grealish in your team. Is where I'm at with it. Kepa to Ederson. If you don't have moves to do, I quite like the Kepa to Ederson switch that people are doing. If you don't have the ability to make that switch, I don't think I'd worry too much because, well, if Kepa gets dropped, then maybe we worry or maybe we need to do it at some point. But yeah, at the moment, I mean, my team's in pieces a little bit. I wouldn't worry a little bit until we know that Kepa gets dropped. Because if Kepa doesn't get dropped and Kepa does keep his place, then City double in game week 34, but Raya has Forest at home. And then City double in 34, but in 37, but Kepa also doubles that week. So we can get past it. I might make the move at some point, but I don't think this is a week that I necessarily really need to go and do it. Havertz is so dross, correct. A lot of the Chelsea players are at the moment. Rather play Estupiñán and Kane or Edouard and Salah. I mean, for this week, Edouard's a better option than Estupiñán, but I wouldn't want to go without Kane, so I'd go with the Harry Kane option for this week, particularly. Going forward, fine, but for this week, you want the Kane option. Captain Kane, Salah or Tony as a differential. I really wouldn't do that. If I had to captain someone that wasn't Haaland this week, it would be Harry Kane. But yeah. It would be Harry Kane. Harry Kane is second on my captaincy ranking this week, but behind Erling Haaland. Start Estupiñán or Botman. I mean, probably Estupiñán. The Villa attack looks really good, and at home as well. I'd be surprised if Villa don't score. There's a chance Chelsea don't score. He ain't the guy who went off. Hey, ain't you the guy who went off on Heisenberg? I don't think so. I don't know what you're referring to, Meerkat, but feel free to DM me on Twitter if I've done something wrong, but I don't believe I did. No. Is having game week 34 Salah essential? I don't think it's essential, but I think it'll be a very popular pick going into that week. What I think of Crystal Palace assets, also doing Chilwell to Gahey, I don't particularly love it this week, just because I understand why people are wanting to do it, but there's not that much use of Crystal Palace assets between now and the end of the season. Like, they don't double. They don't cut. Well, they play in the blank. I suppose if you don't have your free hit, you might want to look at a Crystal Palace player. But apart from that, if you're free hitting in game week 32, I don't think it's a top priority transfer in, to be honest. So yeah, I'm free hitting in game week 32. Yes, not this week, but my team looks like it could do it for this week, but it is what it is. But yes, I am going to be making a transfer, which is going to be Mo Salah in for James Maddison. Free hit game with 32 confirmed. Yes, I will be. Chelsea versus Madrid, second leg. We are going to Stamford Bridge. But we're rubbish. We're going to lose that game. It's not even a question of are we going to qualify. It's are we going to be able to get a point out of that game? And the answer is no. Kepa to Iverson, Saka to Martinelli, Chilwell to Ake Stones have free transfer. Don't know what to do. Kepa to Iverson I don't particularly love. I do Kepa to... I much prefer like the City defence. So if you could do Kepa to Edison maybe, or Chilwell to Ake or Stones, like I much prefer those. I don't think Saka to Martinelli is worth it. Transfers will be Maddison to Mo Salah, and then I'll probably just play Dominic Solanke against Spurs. I don't love it, but I'm not sure it's worth a hit. It's just whether I think it's worth a hit to do Rashford to Grealish this week. For a -4 though, I find it difficult to know if the Rashford to Grealish for a -4 transfer is worth it. I feel like I've taken so many hits recently. Do I think Brentford keep a clean sheet versus Wolves this weekend? I think there's a chance of it. I basically might end up with double what Brentford defence in my team, which isn't the end of the world. It's an okay fixture. Wolves look good, but they have been scoring some wonder goals. If you don't have your free hit left and you have a similar team to me, again, like Maddison to Salah is a good move. You're then probably looking at Shaw out as well. I don't know if you can do Shaw to a Liverpool defender. Shaw to an Arsenal defender is probably where I would go this week as well. Shaw to a Liverpool defender. Solanke's due a penalty. We don't actually know if he's on penalties, though, is the only thing. He's likely to be, but we don't know. It'll be peak FPL if Grealish gets benched. Solanke's due a goal. This is it. Like, his returns haven't been great, but his performances have been. Like, I haven't got screen share on because again it uses up too much Wi-Fi, but his XG over the last few weeks, like he put up a 0.9 XG against Leicester. He put up a 0.85 XG against Brighton. He put up a 1.16 XG against Fulham. So he's had over 3 expected goals in the last 3 games. And has only scored once. Before that, it wasn't great. 0.2 against Villa, 0.04 against Liverpool. 0.5 against City, though. 0.7 against Newcastle. Like, I don't hate Solanke, to be honest. And then he plays Southampton next week, right? So if Rashford's still not back, I can just play Solanke away at Southampton. It's not the end of the world. I don't mind him as an asset. Like, I don't think it's ideal this week. I basically need Dominic Solanke to match Harry Kane this week, which is a lot to ask for. Why am I not tripled up on Brighton? Yeah, good question. I am planning on bringing in a stupid... Are we back? I think we're back. We're back. We'll keep going for a little bit. Right, we're going to be back again. I don't know if it's going to cut out again, but my plan for a Stupinan is to do Rico Henry to Stupinan in game week 33. That is the plan for the moment. because he plays Nottingham Forest that week. My team will be set up okay going into that week. So quite happy with that one. Grealish I would pick over Gundogan. Just the attacking threat I think is slightly better. I don't hate Gundogan as a pick at all. If people are going there as differential, I really can't complain. We are getting to the point in the season where we start to look at differentials, and I think that Gundogan over Grealish can be a decent enough differential. No free hit 32. Chaël and Maddison out for Trent and Martinelli -4. Yeah, I quite like that. Trent's an interesting one. Trent's a great buy if he ends up playing that midfielder role again, but if he ends up not playing in midfield, then it's not the best. If he's back at like right back, it's fine, but he seemed very good in that midfield sort of role, the sort of Cancelo role that we've seen him do so successfully in previous years. So yes, I don't hate Trent. Why don't I do Kepa to steal? I could do Kepa to steal. If Kepa loses his place, I could do Kepa to steal. There are a lot of games. Maybe we think that Stupiñán's going to get rotated because Gameweek 33 is a midweek. So it would also help me because I don't actually have a particularly good goalkeeper for game week 33 because Brighton play against Chelsea, and I mean I could play Kepa if he's still playing and if we get a suspension for Ivan Toney, but if Ivan Toney's playing in that game, I don't particularly love playing Kepa, and I'll probably have to play Chaël anyway because I'll be playing Trippier, I'll be playing Stupiñán who comes in, and then Chaël and Kepa, which I don't particularly love. Ederson, Stupiñán, or Steele and Stones. To be honest, probably Ederson or Stupiñán, but when there's so many games, there is a bit of rotation risk for a Stupiñán that maybe you don't have with the likes of Steele. So, evening all, thank you all for joining this really rugged stream. I apologise, I can't apologise enough. I appreciate you all sticking with me. That post I also put in the community section of questions. I will go and answer some of those as well. I might not get through all of them because we've done a stream now. But I will do some of them. My plan, if I was going to go Ederson, who would I transfer out? Probably Kepa. But I know David Raya is slightly more expensive. To be honest, if you need the money for Raya, fine. You're probably going to end up playing them every game, Ederson every game anyway. So, Rashford to Grealish or Kepa to Ederson. Probably Kepa to Ederson after the news that we got. You're staying up until 3 a.m. to watch this stream to finalise my usual streams. Always help me. I'm glad I'm helping. I'm not sure this stream is my best, but we're here anyway. When am I going to play my free hit? Game week 32 free hit. Which defenders for 5.1 million for Martinez? Nathan Ake. Thoughts on Kepa to steal to fund Kane to Haaland from -8. I wouldn't be selling Kane from -4 this week. I know going at that Haaland is scary, but I don't think Kepa to steal is necessarily... I don't think those transfers are worth a -8 this week. Even if you do them for a -8 in game week 33, fine, but I wouldn't be doing it this week. Am I set on Salah versus Grealish? I think I am. I don't think Steele's going to lose his place, by the way. I know like Grealish has looked really good the past couple of games, but if we look at his like numbers, I know Grealish is... You get exceptions to rules and everything like that, but Grealish's expected goal involvement over the past 2 games, it's 2, right? And he's had 4 attacking returns. And then before that, it's been 2.5 over the past 4 games, and he's got 4 returns in the past 2 games. Whereas if you do look at Salah, his expected numbers are... he did put up a massive 2.37 expected goals against Arsenal. It was lower, 0.24 against City, but against Bournemouth it was high, it was over 1. Against United it was high, it was over 1. Against Wolves it was high, it was 0.8. Like Salah's expected numbers are naturally better than Grealish. So if you had the money, if money wasn't a question, which it isn't for me in this situation, and I do want Salah more long term than I do necessarily want Grealish, I think I'd go Salah. I mean, Grealish, Kane, and Saka have the ability to ruin me. Salah's high goal threat, explosive enough to battle Kane, differential to gain rank. I agree. I know there's a lot of bandwagoning on Grealish this week, and I get it. But yeah. Been really busy. What's the consensus on Rashford and Shaw? So Shaw could be back this weekend. Probably unlikely to start. Rashford, he said he could be back for Sevilla next week. I'd be surprised, but it does bode well that Rashford might be back for game week 33. Or for game week 34 even. Best City defender, I'd probably go John Stones. Why am I starting Maddison over Botman? Maddison I'm going to sell. Maddison's going to become Salah. I mean, I could even do that now, to be honest. Saying all that, I would chuckle when Maddison scores in a 5-1 defeat for Leicester. To be honest, I'm still probably happy with that, even though I know I'll have sold him. Not having a City defender. Is Foden back? No, I know it says 15th of April, but he shouldn't be back this week. Do we start Shaw? At the moment I am, but it doesn't look that positive. For him to start, to be honest. I think he might be on the bench. If I cannot afford Salah, if you cannot afford Salah, is Grealish the best long-term mid option? Or you could go for someone else, budget up to 7.7 million. Yeah, Grealish is probably where I'd go next. Fernandes a sell. No, I'd keep Fernandes. Let's see what happens against Forest, because if it's a midfield three of... If it's a midfield three of Casemiro, Eriksen, Fernandes, then he becomes an okay asset again. Do I think we'll get early City team news or transfer today? I don't think we'll get early City team news. They were the late kickoff last week and then we didn't get anything. Martinez is out for the rest of the season, so Shaw's chances have increased of starting this week. I think Shaw will play a lot of games once he's back, but I don't think he's necessarily fit enough to start this week. Martinez... do I not think United's defence is less appealing? Yeah, I do, but I'm not using a transfer on Shaw right now, I don't think. What's my plan with Chilwell? I might sell him in game week 34, but it would have to be for a hit, so I don't know if I'll end up doing it or not. Chilwell's not in form. Yeah, I mean, fair, he's probably not, but he was still a very good asset when he was taking all set pieces for Chelsea, so... Do I think Chilwell starts? Yeah, I think Chilwell probably does start. Chilwell to Diaz. If you don't have anything else, yeah, I don't dislike it. The best alternative to Rashford, yeah, I'd go Grealish. Ben Mee to Akanji or Watkins to Alvarez. Ben Mee to Akanji or Watkins. I'd do Mee to Akanji, definitely. But I'd go Ake if you can. Ake is much better than Akanji. Edison or Ake. I'd probably go Ake if you have space in your defence, but a lot of people don't at the moment. Do I really think Ten Hag would risk another day playing Maguire and Lindelof? Do I really think he's going to risk and throw Luke Shaw back into start and risk him not being available for Sevilla? Probably. United defence down to Maguire, Lindelof, worrying times. Yeah, it is. I wouldn't necessarily want to be a De Gea owner this week. I think Forest might get something as well. So missing the 0.1 for Ake, then I guess you have to go Akanji, but he's probably the least nailed of those City defenders at the moment. Chilwell to Trent or Ake? Probably Ake. Which game week will I free hit? I'll free it in game week 32. Hey Ari, thanks for the stream. If not Grealish, then who? Grealish is still the one for me. If you can't get to Salah, I'd go Grealish. Edison or Alisson? Edison. Extra double as well for Man City over Liverpool this season. No free at 32. Transferring Bowen out, worth it? Probably not, because they double next week. Oh, they play next week. So you probably need to do what you can to maximise the amount of players you have next week. Stupidly already sold Rashford for Elise before news. I still think there's an okay chance Rashford isn't back by 34. I don't know necessarily I trust what Ten Hag is saying, to be honest, but so apparently there's some embargoed Klopp press conferences at 10:30 UK time, which is in less than an hour. So I'll probably wait for that. And if there's nothing about Salah, then I will probably I'll make the move then. Because I imagine that Salah's predicted, or there's predicted to be a price change for one of these, I imagine. Maddison's predicted to fall tomorrow. Rashford's predicted to fall again tonight. Grealish is predicted to rise again tonight. I'm losing a lot of value here. Salah predicted to not rise. So that's on benching Solanke. Spurs have conceded a lot of chances through the centre. So to be honest, I won't have Rashford start. So Solanke will come in off the bench. Start these. James, Estupiñán. So it looks like James isn't going to be available. If not, he'd be top. Henry second, Estupiñán third. You think those Klopp embargoes will be more about Bellingham? Yeah, I think it's not like team related, but I'm just going to wait for them. I may as well. We've got a history of playing Rashford injured. It wouldn't surprise me. He's worse when he's injured, though. I know that's obvious saying, but his form definitely dips. Chilwell to a City defender or Raya to /Kepa to Ederson. I'd probably do the defender transfer, to be honest. I'd probably do Chilwell. Well, but the issue is if Kepa loses his place. If you think Kepa's going to lose his place, then defensively, the goalkeeper as one is much better. Chilwell to City defender or Raya to Kepa or Ederson. So we've done that. Yes. Maddison to whom? Don't have Bruno, can't go Salah. Then it's Grealish. Grealish or a Brighton mid. If you already got Grealish, then Brighton mid. I will start Solanke. It'll be in over Rashford. Would I start Shaw, play Henry or Estupiñán? I'm currently starting Shaw, but I need to have a think about whether I think there's a decent enough chance he starts, because if he's on the bench, I don't want that 1-pointer. So I might just start Henry. Players become different after coming back from long injuries. Will I still immediately bring him back in? Who? Rashford? Well, I mean, I'm planning on keeping hold of him. Is risky to free hit in Gameweek 34. A little confused doing it in 33 to 32 or 34. I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing to do in 34 if your team is set up well. If your team is set up badly for Game Week 32, then just do it in Game Week 32, because I think that's still the best week to do it. Maestro, score predictions. I know you asked last week, but I've been away, so I haven't had time to implement them in yet. What's my opinions on the best defensive asset for City? Probably Ruben Diaz if you can afford it. But if you can't, then John Stones and Nathan Ake are pretty even. Sell Saka to Grealish and bench Rashford for the long term. Selling Saka to Grealish this week is not necessarily something I'd really want to do. I'd probably do something else this week. What I think of Barnes, Leicester I'd sell. Sell all of Leicester. Salah and Grealish, 100% transfers will make. No, I don't think I'll buy Grealish. I think I'll probably end up just starting Solanke this week. No free hit. Rashford to Gakpo, can't afford Salah. Pens. I mean, I don't love Gakpo, to be honest. But I understand why you'd want to buy him. But I think you're asking for trouble going and buying Gakpo, especially with like so many of their forwards now being back available. I just go an Arsenal mid, to be honest. Rashford to Martinelli. If you don't have free hit in 32, Rashford to an Arsenal mid makes a lot of sense. Do I think Reece James will do surgery now because there's nothing to play for? To be honest, I know they said that Reece James might be back for the run-in. As a Chelsea fan, I am just don't play him. Just do not play. Just say James is out for the season and let's just not break him again. We do it all the time. Let's see what we can do to fix him, because August is 4 months away. 4 months to get Reece James back fit would be massive for us next season. So we're not going to gain anything having Reece James and pushing him this season. Captain Kane or Salah this week? Kane. What's my top 3 Liverpool assets? Trent, Salah. I mean, you can try and predict one of the front 3, But long term, probably Robertson, but even he gets dropped. What I think they mean by for the run-in, final 6 games, 5 games. To be honest, like we're in the run-in now, but there's a few press conferences this week that have mentioned the run-in, and they're obviously meaning shorter time period than now. Rashford, they're expecting back for the run-in, and James, they're expecting back for the run-in. Like, what do these things mean? Bench Gabriel or Trippier? I'd bench Gabriel or Trippier. Probably Gabriel. Why do I love Maddison? I don't. I hate James Maddison, and I'm going to sell him as soon as the Klopp presser embargoed quotes come out in about an hour's time, and I'm going to sell him for Mo Salah, I think. And if there's anything in that press conference that says Mo Salah is a doubt or anything like that, which there shouldn't be. Oh, is it not? Oh, I just saw it in one of my chats that... Oh, apparently the... Don't know, I'm sure I saw a reliable source saying that Reece was injured. Maybe I'm wrong. People think he'll be rested. Oh, there's a Reece James that plays in League One. I've been fully baited by Twitter. Good stuff. Good stuff. I've been fully baited by Twitter. Right. Reece James plays for Sheffield Wednesday. Right. It is my dad's 60th birthday today, so I'm going to go and have a drink with him, and I need to wrap up the stream now. Again, that post on the community section, go and drop any more questions you have over there, and I will answer them as many as I can before the deadline. But even if your question's not answered, if there's a similar question, I might not necessarily answer both, but I will answer one, or etc, etc. So go and check that out. Go and ask questions over there. I appreciate you sticking with this stream. I will also post my team in the community section and on Twitter as well before I go to bed tonight. I will set an alarm at 5:45 in the morning just to check any early team news. Very, very quick thing, a random thing, and I know a lot of you don't like ads, etc. on videos, but I've been asked and been approached to sponsor a company which is related to alcohol, and I know alcohol can be a difficult conversation and subject for some people. Is there anyone in the chat that I'm trying to understand, because it helps grow the channel, it helps have investment in the channel that I can use to improve my tech, do more videos, things like that, and make sure everything's as high quality as possible. But if it's going to be something that people are going to find that they don't like, that they find, like against anything, no alcohol or gambling ads, fine. Okay, well, I was just wondering, again, like these videos you have to tick when you do for YouTube whether they're for children or not for children. So the fact that you're saying it's all ages is okay, because I do tick not for children. Fine. Fine. Peddling gambling. Don't you worry. There will never be a gambling ad on this channel. Don't you worry. Cool. All right. Well, thank you for your responses. Thank you for your responses. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And I will speak to you all tomorrow. Thanks, guys.